All right, are you house rich and cash poor? Well, if you are, you're not alone. Here's what I noticed here in Utah. Like all these people have been moving in here and all of a sudden our houses, the price of our houses have gone way up. In fact, it'd be nice to think that this run on house prices is at an end, but we are short 40,000 homes. And the problem is the shortage of homes just keeps moving to the right because we build like crazy. And then as they build like crazy, more people move here. So we remain short. And so what happens across the board, I've noticed, is everybody is house rich and cash poor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm going to break down 3 secrets showing you how you can literally start reversing this exact process. Therefore, you can start becoming house rich, cash rich. Isn't that the idea, right? That's what we want. I know. I can tell my daughter wants cash too. That's what I'm talking about. So, all right, so the very, very first thing. Okay, this is what? Reduce your expenses without reducing your lifestyle. This is a secret that I use. This is a secret that I use all the time. As you guys know, I do solar. Here's the secret behind solar. Like, when you got this house, right? You got this mortgage payment and it's burying you. And what happened to come with this house happens to be an electric bill. Now, our electric bills in Utah have gotten out of control. They're crazy. Like, if I go back to 1975, from 1975 to today, it's gone up 600%. Or in other words, your electric bill is 600% higher than it would have been a few years ago. You could take your bill out and divide it by 6, and that's what it should have been. Well, here's the secret. The secret is when I put solar on people's houses, I can cut their electric bill in half. They don't put any money down, and booyah, now you got more cash. That's the idea. More cash in your checking account every month. I do this across the board. In fact, here's how I discovered this. I've got 8 kids. Now, I don't know if you got kids or anything like that, but here's what I discovered. Kids don't know how to close doors. Kids don't know how to turn off lights. Kids don't know how to turn off fans. Like, pretty much, they're really cute, but they're very expensive as far as electricity goes. So, I have 8 kids. My electric bill is up in the $300 range. And I had a solar company come meet with me. They put solar on my house, and I was like, that's what I'm talking about. All of a sudden, I had more cash. And that was the secret. So once I discovered that secret, I'm like, booyah, that's where I got excited. And that's why I started helping so many people do it. I put solar on my house, my parents' house, my sister's house, a lot of my friends' houses. And then I literally started offering it direct to you guys. And so that was one of the secrets. I got more cash without compromising my lifestyle by just introducing the solar. Now here's what secret number 2. You got to figure out how to start creating passive income. A methodology that allows cash to start flowing into your checking account without actually having to spend an enormous amount of time to do it. Let me give you an example. Okay, here is my friend 𝗲𝗵𝗵. He's a licensed electrician. The guy absolutely loves electrical stuff. We talked to him about solar and he was like, dude, I've been wanting that forever. But he goes, you know what? Me personally, I don't actually want to climb up there and do it. He said, well, why don't you do it for me? And after I did it, he's like, hey, Mike, hey, I got a friend who, actually it wasn't his friend, it was his uncle. He goes, my uncle is an electrician, but he doesn't want to install it himself. Actually, he would be interested in doing a DIY, and since you're a solar wholesale provider, you could provide him the kit. So I went and met with his uncle. His uncle's like, boom, you came in about half of what the other solar companies did. Yes, I'm interested. So next thing you know, Wayne's uncle got solar. So I went back to Wayne's house. I said, Wayne, here is some cash. So I literally went to his house and I paid him. Wayne has now gone out to, there's a couple other folks in his neighborhood where he said, hey, Mike, they are interested in solar. And so I have now been to Wayne's house several times and I paid him cash several times. In fact, I'll show you here in a second one of the folks that he told me to go see. Eric, exact same thing. Eric is like, booyah, my electric bill. Actually, he's got renters in his basement. And his bill was tapping out at 400 and change. It was right there in Payson. And it was like stupid high. Anyway, we put solar on his house. We knocked his electric bill way down. He was like, dude, that is the coolest thing ever. Go see so-and-so. So he had me go visit his friend. Boom, we put solar up on 2 of his friends' houses. Next thing you know, I'm back at Eric's house, and he has got cash flow. Woo! Okay. Dave Allred, he lives right there in Santa Quinn. He does most of the remodels in San Quentin. In fact, if you need a basement, you need any of those things done, to a deck, a basement, a house built, whatever, this guy is the guy. He's about half the price. But Dave, he said to me, Mike, he goes, I work outside. I want to come home to a meat locker. And we created a really good lifestyle. We put extra solar up on his house, created a meat locker. Not literally a meat locker, but what I mean is we made his house cold, so he didn't go broke paying for it, but the solar made it so that he could like literally increase his lifestyle so it could be cold. I have been back to Dave's house, I don't know how many times. I paid him probably over $1,000 easy. Easy peasy. Anyway, here's one. Sean and Bonnie Brown right there in San Quentin. These guys are awesome. What they do, here's like everybody's on Facebook. Have you noticed that? You probably pick up your phone, get bored, whatever, start cruising Facebook. Well, what happens is people are constantly interested. Like, hey, does anybody know anybody that does solar? And they always want like referrals. These guys look on Facebook. Anytime somebody says, hey, we're interested in solar, they say, contact Mike Morris. In fact, they even send me a screenshot and say, hey, Mike, so-and-so is interested in solar. Go over there and see if you can help them out. I have been back to their house, and they're probably up around $1,600. A lot of cash flow. So they're doing all kinds of fun stuff with theirs. Let's see. Edgar. So Edgar works for the post office. On his street, I put solar on almost all of the houses on his street. He lives right by Wayne. In fact, the first guy I showed you. And so Edgar's like, boom, you saved me a lot of money. Go see my brother. So I went and saw his brother. And the next thing you know, his brother's like, dude, I want that. Like, you cut my electric bill in half? Yes, I did. He goes, I want solar. Anyway, I'm back at his house and I am paying him. Wayne, remember when I mentioned Wayne? Here is the Benners. He said, Mike, I think the Benners would like it. In fact, when I went to the Benners house, they're like, hey, we're not even interested in solar. And I said, my daughter just pointed out because I'm not showing it high enough. Anyway, the Benners, they're like, we're not even interested in solar. And I started talking to them and I showed them the savings and the benefit. And they're like, you know what? I like money more than I like the idea of not liking solar. Therefore, I now like solar. So we put solar up on their house. I have now been back to the Benners house and I have paid them to the tune of $1,000. In fact, I keep going back because they will leave. They left a Facebook review for me. And if you do that, I went back and I gave them a $15 Dairy Queen gift card. And if they leave the best Facebook review, I do it twice a week, gets an Amazon gift card. So I've been back to their house a few times. But this is what I mean. Figuring out how to create a side hustle that creates passive income. And what's cool about it is everybody's got an electric bill and everybody's happy when they spend half as much money and they have extra cash in the checking account. So now that we figured out how to reverse the process so that you start accumulating some money, now what you got to do is figure out, how do I start accumulating some wealth? Okay? Figure out how to start accumulating some cash generating assets. Like, here's what I did. Okay? So I've got assets, I've got money that's starting to come in and doing its business because I've literally, this isn't just me suggesting something, this is something that I actually do and I've actually helped a lot of people do. I took that money and I turned around and I did just this. This is my stock portfolio. You can see out of here, there's one negative and everything else is positive. Let me give you an example. So I took this money, I accumulated, I turned around, put it into stocks, to make it when I could start buying assets. Now, I noticed that the market was low. I said, I've got cash on hand because I've done the process. And I said, boom, I need to buy some stuff. Have you noticed Carnival? As soon as COVID hit, Carnival stock went, that company is an awesome company. I went and bought Carnival. It's up 75%. Yes. Everybody thought there was going to be a run on J.P. Morgan Chase. Phenomenal bank, been around for 100 years, right? I bought that, went up 56%. Kohl's, remember Kohl's? Everybody's been to Kohl's department store. So I was like, holy cow, people think Kohl's is going out of business. It's probably not. The company's been solid for years and years and years and years. It's got a phenomenal reputation. It's up 115%. Hot dang. One of them is like the largest mall owner in the country. It's called Simmons Property Group. Their stock took a dip because all of a sudden everybody, it's crazy. Like people have things that are like really valuable. Like these companies, these businesses like this, they're real. They're real. And all of a sudden everybody abandoned them. And I'm like, you kidding me? If you're going to sell this stuff at a fire sale, I'm in. I'm going to buy some of that. Anyway, so I swooped in, bought some of that. Simmons Property Group. I'm up 94.74%. Yes, and every one of these pretty much pays dividends, except Berkshire Hathaway. They like to keep all their money and make it grow and grow and grow and grow. Anyway, but that was the secret. I literally did exactly what I said I was getting, or like what I suggested. I literally did all these things. Then I started taking the excess money, shelling it out, and buying assets that would appreciate. And booyah, as you can see, based on my numbers I just gave you, I made plenty of money in a passive income way. And so, that is the secret. This is how you say, I'm house rich. I would prefer not to be cash poor. Take step 1, 2, 3, boom. Okay, so you can learn more. Just go to @𝗲𝗰𝗵.com. You can go to my website, check it out, see what it is. I can sit down, I can literally show it to you. It's just math. I got a degree in accounting. I don't practice it, so to speak, as an accountant anymore. But here's what I learned. You just got to pay attention to the money. Do I have more money? Do I have less money? If you got more money, boom, it worked. If it has less money, snap. You probably shouldn't do too many of those things because the next thing you know, you're going to be broke. Anyway, @𝗲𝗰𝗵.